With all the steel stocks going up and a very interesting news in the cement sector as well, the overall market, as you can see on the chart, was very sideways, guys. Again, right? I've mentioned in my previous video as well. Whenever we see a very sharp momentum like this, right, which was on yesterday's day before yesterday's session on Friday, we noticed a huge momentum. So today, obviously, the market will go sideways. That is how the market basically responds to major events. But again, I'll stick to whatever the levels that I mentioned on my weekly analysis. If we go to Nifty chart, this is the level to look out for, right? Currently, it will be sideways in the particular zone, but when it hits this major support, then I myself as a trader am more interested in taking better trades. So this is my level for Nifty. And then if I go back to the Bank Nifty chart here, 5 minutes time frame, again very similar price action, a huge momentum on Friday's session. So today markets was very sideways, extremely sideways market. So again, same with Bank Nifty as well. The major level that I'll be looking for is on a weekly time frame, as you can see, right? This is a trend line that is coming on in a weekly time frame from a long horizon of about a few months. So clearly, when markets comes to this level, I'm more interested in seeing what happens over there as a trader compared to whatever will happen in this particular range. I'm not at all interested because it will be sideways and volatile and will certainly hit my stop losses, right? So next off, basically the metal sector was on frenzy today. It went up. All the stocks have gone up by 4 to 5%. Seal is up by 4.5%. JSW up by 3%. Even Zindal Steel up by about 3.5%. And the majority of the reason why the steel sector is going up has something to do with the DGTR investigation. So basically, uh, Indian steel companies were taking quite a bit of a hit because China was selling all of these cheap steel at major discounts. So even though our Indian companies were offering 20 to 30% discount on their steel, they were still not able to compete. So clearly, that was one of the reason why the entire steel sector was down. And today, CNBC reported that the DGTR investigation might consider putting a safeguard duty. So basically, it's a fancy way of saying we'll put some tax on whatever the import will be, import of steel that comes from China. The same way US is doing it, right? So very similar stuff. So clearly, it's a great news for Indian stocks if they put a extra tax on, steel that comes from China. So clearly, people will prefer Indian stocks, Indian steels, right? So that is the reason why the steel sector has gone up. Next off, obviously, the year end will get a lot of reports, interesting bits and stats. And one of those is actually the robust inflow in the equity issuance. So now equity issuance is not when people buy new equity shares, but it's more like when companies issue their new IPO, they are issuing new equity shares into the market, or already listed equity company, if they come up with right shares or bonus shares, that is basically issuing extra shares. So that is called as equity issuance. And the report says that there's a record robust growth, almost 200%, 260%, 2.6x growth. So clearly that's a great news. And next off we have intellect design. The share is up by 17% today, even in such a bearish sideways market. We saw a good growth, good rally in intellect design because they're coming up with some sort of an AI system called Purple Fabric. Just stood up quite a buzz in the market. So clearly, we see it as one of the top gainers, right? And as you can see uh, on the screen as well, right? We had a very sideways momentum, but then today, supported by very high volumes, we noticed intellect design go up. And next off, we have Sterling and Wilson, which actually went up by 5%, hit its upper circuit. And again, they have won another major order worth around 1,200 crores. And this is a trend that I myself have been seeing for quite a while. We have noticed all these, green energy and solar related stocks, backing up all these year end orders. So we notice the whole sector is in quite a bit of a buzz for the last couple of months, actually, since October to December. And you can see open with about open at 460 rupees, about 4.5% gap up, and still closed high. shows you how positive the entire sector is. So next off the major news, Indian Cements, right? So it's up by 8%, and that's because Ultratech is actually owned by Aditya Birla, and there's a huge war going on between the cement chains, and clearly, Ultratech has taken another move to acquire India Cements, because if they don't do it, Adani's might acquire it, right? So clearly, there's a war between the cement chains, and that's what we see. And CCI, basically Indian, a government agency that allows all these. They have the highest authority on who gets stays and who doesn't, and they have basically mentioned that it's okay to go ahead with.
If you're a trader following market calls and tips for day trading, use our tool RNT, Research and Trade. All you have to do is link RNT to your trading account, then just sit and relax. Turn trading into business at app.gwcindia.live. Check out description for more details.
Disclaimer: investments in the securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.